I'm home again. Came home for the weekend. So I could take a bath. Not just so I could take a bath. Taking a bath is a pleasant benefit of the real reason I'm here, which is to help my mother with Tomato Fest tomorrow, which is a celebration of tomatoes that takes place in Auburn, and it's probably going to be hicktastic, I figure. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be helping her with entirely, but my dad is paying me to do it, so I'm gonna do it, and it's really not a hardship. I don't mind helping my mother with things. I also have to wash the kitchen floor while I'm here, so it's like I was never gone. Friggin' Cinderella here. But yes, it's been 2.5 weeks since I started college at Wells, and all of the worrying I was doing, totally unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. I'm really happy there. I've been making friends, I've been getting involved in, like, clubs and activities and stuff, and I'm doing well in my classes, and I like all of my teachers, and basically, I can't remember the last time I was this happy, and it's really nice. 'Cause usually when I'm happy, there's an element of being manic to it, and there's no element of being manic to this. I'm doing well, and I'm okay, and things are going great, and I'm happy, and it's really, really nice. It's just starting to act like fall outside. We've had a couple of cool rainy days, which is nice because it was in the 90s for like a week. Like, first week I started classes, it was up there the whole time, and it was really unpleasant. But now it's getting nice, and autumn is my favorite season, so I'm really looking forward to getting into the season properly. I might go apple picking. I think there's some kind of apple picking activity heading out from Wells eventually, and I'm gonna go pick apples with my friends, and it's gonna be awesome. Uh, and I don't know. I'm doing really well in my classes. I enjoy all of them. I'm taking 2 media classes, Media and Power, which we're learning all about signs and signals and the hegemony and how we're all dominated by the culture that we can't escape because it's been imprinted in our heads since we were born, and the only way you can escape it is to recognize that you're part of it and working on making us conscious of the consumerist culture in which we're all living. So that's interesting enough. Pretty soon we're going to start watching westerns in that class, which I'm not entirely psyched about, but I get to watch Brokeback Mountain for class, so okay, whatever, Anne Hathaway's tits, I'm not going to complain. The other one is Mass Media and Society, and that's really actually interesting, where Media and Power is only sometimes interesting, Mass Media and Society is really interesting. And we all have to do a project, and my project is going to be on the portrayals of bisexuals in the media, not just television and movies, but also real life bisexuals. Ooh, those are pretty rare. So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to getting into that. It's a subject that's near and dear to my heart, obviously, so it'll be exciting to go deeper than just the Wikipedia entry on bisexual characters in media, which is where I've started, but not where I'm going to end up, and I think I'm going to try and incorporate, like, clips of things. I'm thinking Torchwood. Torchwood is the most obvious choice, but I'm going to see if I can find other things. But I'm definitely going to use Toshiko kissing guys and girls, because that's just awesome, and any excuse to make my class watch Torchwood is a good excuse. Um, what else? I'm taking French. I'm doing okay in French. I haven't taken a French class since 2002, so I actually remember more than I thought I would. I'm doing okay with the verbs. My vocabulary needs work. But out of the, 12 people in my class, I'm towards the top in comprehension and speaking, and aside from the girl who already went to France for an exchange year, I'm not doing too shabby. I'm doing okay. I'm keeping my head above water. I have a lot of homework to do this weekend. What else am I taking? Wells 111, which is intro to Wells and what Wells is all about and the traditions and yada yada yada. Wells has a lot of traditions and a lot of them are really silly. I'll talk about odd even in a second. It's really irritating actually. But what else am I taking? 2 media classes, French, Wells 111, logic, which is okay. Learning how to make good arguments is a valuable skill, I suppose. Logic. What is there really to say about it? I'm good at it. I'm decent at it. I understand what's going on in the class. It's not like a huge class participation sort of class. Mostly he just lectures. But today he was looking for an example to prove something, and I gave an example, and he was like, "That's really good." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm pretty awesome." So that was nice. And my last class is educational psychology, which I just started this week, actually. I came to it late because I was taking indigenous psychology, and that really was not a good fit for me. It was a seminar course, and I'm definitely not ready to take a seminar course, and it was just a lot of work that I couldn't keep up with, and the topic wasn't interesting to me personally. So it was bad. And then I realized that I don't need another clinical psychology class, so there was no reason for me to be taking it, but I did need a developmental psychology class, so I switched from indigenous psych to educational psych, and I'm much happier in educational psych already. I've only had 2 classes yet, and already I'm participating more fully in the class, and I'm more engaged, and I like my classmates, which is a big difference from the indigenous psych class because everybody there, not everybody, but a few of the girls in that class, and it was an entirely female class, a few of the girls in that class, gave me the wrong vibe. But everybody in educational psych seems really nice. And there's this one guy, Dylan, who's in both of my media classes and my educational psych class, and it kind of seems like I'm stalking him because I suddenly showed up in this 3rd class. But it's okay, he's nice. He's not anything special, he's nice enough. But I've made friends. There's Matt, who I met at Wells Warm-Up, and he's a freshman, and he's really, really, really enthusiastic about everything, and it's kind of scary because I don't remember being that enthusiastic about things, ever, let alone when I was 18 years old. So he's really nice, though. He's really sweet. And there's Felix, who's a transfer student like me and 24, which is pretty close to my being 25. And I feel older than everybody else at this school. Everybody is really young. Even the seniors are only 21, 22. I feel ancient compared to most of these kids. But it's okay. I'm doing well for myself as an elderly member of the student body. But Felix and I are getting on very well. We have a lot of similarities. So it was nice meeting somebody that I clicked with immediately. And he's my new best friend, whether he wants to be or not. And it's nice having somebody to talk to and somebody who understands where I'm coming from most of the time. And I'm making more friends. There's Patrick, who I met before I actually started classes, and he's really cool, and I've met a lot of people through him. And I just joined a club this week. I just joined 2 clubs this week. Actually, I joined 5 clubs this week, but there are only 2 I'm actually participating in. which is Saga, which is Sexuality and Gender Activist, which is basically the GSA on campus, and Sex Collective, which literally is just a bunch of people sitting around talking about sex, and it's kind of awesome. Uh, and I'm the secretary of Saga now because I used to be the secretary of Soul, which was the GSA back at Plattsburgh State, and that was okay, but everybody was really infighty and backbitey and backstabby, and it got not fun after a while. And I like Saga, and it seems like a good group of people, and I'm excited to start my secretarial duties, I guess. And Felix is the treasurer, so we're like half of the officership of the club right there between the two of us. And the chairs seem really nice. The chairs seem like cool people. And I kind of have a crush on the male chair. His name is Philip, and he wears suits, and he carries a pocket watch, which is just completely unfair. If you know my buttons, he presses like 8 of them simultaneously. And I made a Hitchhiker's Guide joke, and he was the only person who smiled at me. And I was so psyched that he got it. It made me really happy. But yeah, I think he's adorable, and that's not necessarily a good thing because I don't need to be thinking about romance. I should be focusing on my schoolwork. Oh god, okay, I've got like 3 more minutes to talk about whatever. Odd even, I said I was going to talk about odd even. Okay, if you graduate in an odd year, you're odd line, and if you graduate in an even year, you're even line. So being class of 2012, I'm even line, which means that my colors are blue and green, and my mascot is Cleo the elephant, and oddliners wear yellow and purple, and their mascot is Oddwina the bear. And like there's this huge rivalry, and there are songs, and people get really enthusiastic about it. And there's a basketball game later this month, and like the rivalry is like a big tradition, and people get really into it. And I don't really get it. And honestly, the enthusiasm some people have for it kind of scares me a little bit. But the fact remains that most of my wardrobe already is blue and green and black and gray, mostly black and gray. But there's a lot of blue and green. I don't really own a lot of purple clothing, and I left all of it at home, so I won't accidentally wear it and have people be like, what are you doing wearing odd-line colors? I don't get it. I really don't get it. But I don't own any yellow clothes, so that's not a problem for me. Yeah, and just there are a lot of traditions at Wells, and people get super excited about them, and I'm not a traditions kind of person, and I just kind of smile and nod my head and go along with it. I'm sure I will learn to love the traditions as all the students seem to do, but the love will come, I'm assuming. It'll grow on me. Probably I'll be more enthusiastic about it when I'm a senior, but as a junior, as a new transfer student, I don't really get it, and I just participate kind of by default, and nobody really is pushing me to be more excited about it, so that doesn't bother me. But they sing, they like stand up on tables and sing at dinner, and that's really, 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 really annoying. So I just leave my headphones on and pretend I can't hear them. When I'm not actually having discussions over meals, because I actually have friends that I eat meals with now, which is incredible. Friggin', like, I'm so used to eating meals, like, standing up at the stove by myself with nobody to talk to, that it's kind of revolutionary actually having friends and eating with them, and it's really cool, and I like it. And I've got 30 seconds left, so I'm just gonna say I really like it at Wells. I'm happy. Things are going well. I'm excited to see what the rest of the semester will bring, because so far it's been really good. And now I'm going to lay back and enjoy the rest of my bath. So I will catch you next time I come home to take a bath, I guess.